you, Sobwaji.
Indeed, and we will be with you all morning. It's time for us to look into our newspapers. On radio, we'd call it News Review. I have a feeling it doesn't have a very different name on television.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. We call it the headlines.
We're joined by Malik, aren't we? Malik Abbas Dabu of myjoyonline.com and the politics desk of JoyNews.
And I look misplaced here.
Yeah. You're a familiar voice on radio at this time. So television, you're welcome to the AM show.
Thank you.
Right then, so the news review on Joy FM is brought to us by Interplus. Wherever you are, they make sure water reaches you, even in space. And First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. We all know what Interplus does. They do it every day. They produce the best pipes, TNG and UPVC windows and doors in West Africa. Of course, they have strong and durable windows and doors as well. But the best thing that you can do with Interplus is replace your copper pipes with Interplus affordable PPR pipes for hot and cold water application. Interplus is on Spintex Road behind Agapet Filling Station. Of course, you can ring them on 0302 819 000. Interplus, wherever you are, they make sure water reaches you, even in space. Now, receiving money from abroad is great, right? But even greater is knowing that no matter which money transfer channel you use, you can collect it from First Atlantic Bank. All right, so when your family and friends send money from abroad, you can collect it through Western Union, MoneyGram, Money Exchange, Ria Money Transfer, Transfast, Small World, Unity Link, and you can collect it all with ease from any First Atlantic Bank branch across the nation. Take advantage of their extended opening hours and enjoy the purple experience that comes with it. First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. So, Mama V, let's do the news review.
Yeah, I've got the Daily Graphic newspaper. Very interesting story, which is, it's actually made the front page headline. Kumasi Shoe Factory in limbo as security agencies refuse to patronize the boots. So the Daily Graphic actually visited the factory last Friday and they put together this very detailed report. Says the refusal of state security agencies to patronize the boots and shoes produced by the DEHOC, that's the company, Footwear Division Limited, formerly Kumasi Shoe Factories, negatively affecting the operations of the company. Essentially, the security agencies are also saying, which is mainly the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana National Fire Service, the Ghana Prison Service, they're saying that they haven't been given orders to purchase the shoes.
Surprise,
so that's
surprise.
why they're still importing, really.
I'll tell you what, I want us to talk a bit more about this story and others in a moment. But let's first file through as many of these headlines as we can, and then we'll come back and take some of the individual stories, including that one, Mamavi.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
So since Mamavi did the Daily Graphic, let me do graphic business. Guta chides government over approach to corrupt officials, wants drastic action. American envoy laws government on reforms. Those are the stories on the front page of the Graphic Business newspaper.
Right. I see you also have the Today newspaper.
Yes, I have the Today newspaper. Group Indum inaugurates TV station in the UK. Bawumia fires back, says Mahama is clueless on digital address system.
We'll be talking a bit about that today.
I did not say digital. Your propaganda.
What, you've been saying digital?
Kojo was the one who claimed that I said digital.
Malik, you can't walk away from your claim to fame.
Bawumia has fired back. Bawumia.
I think you're making him uncomfortable.
They have heard. Bawumia fires back, says Mahama is clueless on digital address system. And we know this very well. Yesterday, Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
Right, Mama, be the finder.
The final, the front page of the final, 9 oil firms owe government some $721 million.
Wow.
It's constituting 61% drop in expected revenue from the sector. Also, I will stop vigilantism according to the president. That headline is actually also on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Bawumia punches Mahama like that over 419 digital address system claim. 10-year Eslabon fell short by 1.4 billion Ghana cedis, and electrical cable dealers challenge the Ghana Standards Authority's claims.
Oh, boy.
The Chronicle newspaper, Koje Mamavi, Pong Dam retrofit in danger. Ghana Post GPS, not Jida, Guinea Fowl, nor Woyomi 419 scams, VIB. 2.3 million illicit firearms in Ghana. 2.3 million illicit firearms.
Do you know what? Some of these figures are scary. How much is it that they are owing us, the oil firms? $721 million. That's 2 terms of free SHS right there.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, more than that. A whole year.
Yeah, because we are doing
If
400
not
million
two.
in the first year.
Then that's cedis,
400
right?
million cedis, yes. So
Yeah.
if this is dollars, that's a lot
Crikey.
of money. The Ghanaian
Right, what
Times
else have we got?
newspaper. The Ghanaian Times newspaper. This is the president talking. I will stop vandalism, vigilantism. That's president declaring. GRA targets 40 billion revenue for 2018. Armed robbers attack toll booth, steal 45,000 Ghana cedis. And of course, Veep slams former President Mahama over NDPAS. That's National Digital Property Address System. Yeah.
We love acronyms, don't we?
Let's do the Daily Guide newspaper. Front page, I won't turn blind eye to vigilante. According to our president, Roberts bolds with some 45,000 Ghana cedis toll booth cash. Baumia blasts Mahama over PIX and 419. That's how they decide to put the banner headline this morning in the Daily
Same
Guide.
story on the front page of the New Crusading Guide newspaper. Baumia schools Mahama on digital address system. Ekufado talks staff, vows to deal with vigilantism. These are the stories on the front page of the New Crusading Guide newspaper.
Let's end with the Daily Statesman newspaper. Front page, government secures funds for construction of 20 technical schools. Baumia punches clueless Mahama. So you either find punch or blasts or some other word like that. Our promises weren't mere campaign talk, according to the president. Okay, so that's it really for the front page headlines.
So you remember Baumia saying wahala here, wahala there, wahala everywhere.
Yes.
But this morning it is Baumia here, Baumia there, Baumia everywhere. On the front page of the Daily Heritage newspaper, Baumia Mahama fight over Google Map. That's the story on the front page. That's how they captioned the story.
Mama V, take us back to that story in the Daily Graphic about the boots from the Kumasi shoe factory. Now, I'm particularly fascinated about this. The soldiers are saying they are waiting to be ordered to buy the boots from there. But I thought the president stated that should happen. Are they saying they are disobeying the order of their commander-in-chief or former commander-in-chief in this case?
It's interesting. This is how they put it, and it's captured in the paper. It says they have not received orders from any of the state security agencies. That's the company that manufactures these boots. Compounding the woes of the company is the fact that since 2014, combat boots bots from the company by the Ghana Armed Forces on behalf of the Ghana Navy have not been paid for. So it's not just about they not buying,
And
but
Mama
even the
Viekojo,
ones they
this
bought,
is really
they're not paying.
particularly strange because I remember clearly when this company was revamped, and you know how we do our things. It was done with pomp and excitement, and this is
Pageantry.
absolutely. This is the regeneration of local companies, and I remember clearly at the time, Imani led by Franklin Kujo and Kofi Bentil, warning that this was not a sustainable business model. And the argument essentially was that private companies such as Horseman Shoes, we know our friend Tony Sanaya, those companies are companies that need support. If the state goes to put money in and the state has not demonstrated its capacity to run businesses. So in their view at the time, if the state was bent on making this a successful company, they should have handed it to a private company or a private individual to manage. But they believe that the state forming a business on the back of state purchases will not work.
Two
Sadly,
things.
this is proving right.
Two things. First of all, I think this is another demonstration that when the president of Ghana, at any of our presidents, says something publicly, doesn't mean anything.
Yes,
It doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's been a long time since the president said something, and I've heard a directive that will be followed. It's been a long
Which will
time.
be enforced.
Yeah, I mean, President Mahama said, all of our armed forces and security services will buy shoes from this factory. They're sitting there saying they haven't received an order. It's no different from our current president saying all this lawlessness will stop. And then 15 more events of lawlessness occur, caused by people from his own party. So it's quite clear that you can hear the president say something, but it's very difficult to find evidence upon which you will have the faith to believe what you're hearing
In
from
fact,
the
on
president.
that, one of the most embarrassing episodes was when the president went to visit Asante-Hene after the elections, and he made promises to the Asante-Hene that and the other chiefs in the Ashanti region that the lawlessness which had occurred after the elections would stop. Barely after he left Kumasi,
He was right
the
there
Delta
when it happened
forces
again.
and those things happened again.
Unbelievable.
But
Unbelievable.
let me just box that up now that you bring that issue up, because you know the president has been speaking to this
Oh, yes.
issue. He says he will not turn a blind eye. We're wondering what will change now, what will be different from the many things that we've heard already. So listen, I would say let's give him another opportunity. He seemed to know how to get this issue under control.
Because what has
Seventh
happened-
time lucky, right?
Except that what has happened is that he has consistently asked the police people to do their job. The police haven't demonstrated a willingness to do their job, and they do this because we know that when they do their job and do it diligently, they get punished politically. Of course, the president says, go do your job, and we have heard Interior Minister Ambrose Derry say, you do your job. If any police commander believes that any politician is frustrating them from doing their job, let them name and shame. Will that happen?
So,
I doubt.
ordinarily, how do you even reach the Interior Minister and tell him that I took this action?
Some politicians
Yeah,
says
and somebody,
I shouldn't arrest
exactly. How do you
these
even
guys.
reach him? What's the link like? But with this particular promise that's coming now, maybe perhaps because the chiefs have also stepped into it, because he was speaking to the National House of Chiefs.
Oh, he was once
They are
speaking
also
to a
greatly
Tunkwa, wasn't he?
concerned.
That didn't
so
make
we'll
any
see.
difference.
And it's
let's
actually because the president of the National House of Chiefs, Togo Afede, raised concerns about these things. And it was exciting to hear him also talk about the defilements. And this is something we
Yes.
have been championing. Togo Afede, the president of the National House of Chiefs, complained bitterly about defilement. And he cited that case in the Central Region, the 4-year-old girl. Was it 4 or 10? 4-year-old girl who was
4.
defiled. Yeah, and the president of the National House of Chiefs told the president of the nation that the chiefs are concerned, and he's particularly worried that some chiefs are fingered in some of these things. And we know that in that incident, the chief was alleged to have said that the chiefs had exonerated the person who is alleged to have perpetrated the act. Of course, the chief has denied that. But Togo Afede's concern is that some chiefs are believed to have been involved in getting people not to be punished when they engage in these kinds of acts.
Now, later we'll be talking about Dr. Baomia's response to the former president's comments about the digital address system. But you notice from all the headlines how it appears that the media has captured a certain violent aspect of this response by describing it as punches and blasts and so forth. Do you think that is a reflection of some vigor that was perhaps experienced in the tone and voice of the vice president in his response?
Mama V comes. I think it was uncharacteristic of Bawumia. I think we have known him to be, he always jokes, he will laugh, he says his things with calm. Yesterday, he appeared fired up for whatever reason. And at some point, he said, now that I've gotten this out of my chest, let's deal with today's agenda. Because remember, yesterday's event was for him to launch government's Marshall Plan on agriculture.
And that was my fear, really, because I thought that it was going to take the shine out of the reason he was where he was.
Which
But
is exactly what happened.
I guess it's also important, especially because the former president said the things that he said just over the weekend.
Absolutely.
That was a great opportunity for him to respond.
And he did that.
Yeah.
And then the Marshall Plan on agriculture got drowned because nobody's talking about it this morning.
Yeah.
All the newspapers are focusing on what he said and the manner he said what he said about the former president's comments regarding the Ghana Post GPS.
Yes, indeed.
As for the way the papers have decided to put the headlines, I think it's just a crafty way of, selling and trying to get people's attention.
No doubt, and very often it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So let's see later when we have a discussion about this, the merits of it. Let's see what we can uncover. Certainly, there is a desire on the part of the minority to again respond to the response.
Absolutely.
This is a never-ending cycle of responses that we are governing our nation by. But let's very quickly get back into some of these rather interesting headlines. And there was one in the Finder newspaper that caught my attention. Let's have another look at it. And it's this one. 9 oil firms owe government $721 million. Mama B.
Yeah. The Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta, says a report by Ghana Revenue Authority, the GRA, reveals that 9 out of 16 companies in the oil and gas sector failed to pay a total of $721 million in surface rentals to government last year alone. This is just 1 year we're talking about.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You look at that. That's almost $1 billion, right? I'm not exaggerating. Yeah. So in reality,
And we are taking Euro bonds, Kojo. We have been taking Euro bonds from 2007, 2015, 2030. We are taking $1 billion Euro bond and another one. And yet, companies which are doing business in the country and ought to pay taxes to the government aren't paying those taxes. And this is running to hundreds of millions of dollars. And we are going to take loans on which we are paying hefty interest. Sad. Sad. And coupled with the fact that just a minute fraction of the total population pays tax.
Yeah.
It's a minute fraction.
It's unbelievable. So I guess it wasn't an exaggeration when we kept saying that Ghana is not poor. Ghana
So
is not
what is
poor.
preventing us from taking all these monies? Because
That's the other
a lot of
question.
money. Yeah. That's
And you know,
preventing us from claiming our monies.
and you know, here's one interesting thing, okay? The fact that there are people being paid to collect this money, okay? We have a Ghana Revenue Authority, an entire authority full of people whose job it is to enforce the law. This is not something that is voluntary. Paying tax is not a charitable act. It is a legal obligation, but somehow as a country we have a difficulty making it happen. Let's very quickly acknowledge the sponsors of our online review, Zenith Bank and GOIL. Zenith Bank is in your best interest and GOIL gives good energy. Of course, GOIL is your #1 oil marketing company, and they want to thank you for making them 2016 CIMG Petroleum Company of the Year. Every time you buy from GOIL, what you're saying is that you believe in what is made in Ghana, and they want to thank you for that. Continue to stay with GOIL for quality fuels, the best in marine gas oil, and the use of the Go card, of course, gives you convenient service. GOIL, good energy. GOIL, Yenara Yedia. Now, Zenith Bank is offering you a Zenith MasterCard free of charge. It's a MasterCard, absolutely free, and you can enjoy this just by going to any of their branches and signing up for a Zenith Bank account. It comes with a free MasterCard, and then, of course, you can start enjoying unlimited benefits and using it in 33 million locations across the world. So, get your free MasterCard today from Zenith Bank. Terms and conditions apply. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. So, right across in Kokomlemle in the Joy FM studio, we're about to bring you the Joy Sports Center by courtesy of MTN. Everywhere you go, and Standard Chartered Bank, here for good, as well as FPAC, which blows your pain away, and Multi-TV, just thrills. Of course, MTN Mobile Money continues to be the safest, fastest, and easiest and most secure way to transact business. They want you to know that, and of course, they are providing you additional security with a new allow cash out instruction on your screen, which you must now activate before your cash will go out of your wallet. If you want to know more, call 100 or go to the nearest MTN service center. MTN Mobile Money, welcome to the new world of better money. Standard Chartered Bank is promising to take one of you to Liverpool Football Club, to Anfield, to watch one of their games with, of course, an authentic signed Liverpool FC shirt as a second prize, and authentic Liverpool FC sporting accessories as the third prize. So travel, shop, or dine with your Standard Chartered Visa Infinite debit or credit card, and use it at any point of sale or online to qualify. Apply today by visiting your nearest branch or call their client care center toll free on 0800 740 100. Terms and conditions apply. Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. So, Mama V, I'm going to send half of our audience across to the Joy News studio for the Sports Center.
We're doing the same, Kujo. Benedict also Dankwa is on standby in my studio back in Kokomlemle. But just to add that there's more news on myjoyonline.com. You didn't tell us what's on your page today. There's Ibrahim Mahama investing some $7 million in offshore company, according to some leaked data. A lot more news on my Joy Online. Check it out if you can.
Yes, indeed.
So Benedict in studio.
And George Adu Jr. in studio.